Good morning, and I promised you guys an episode on Bishop Zondo that's going to illustrate the level of tears that he's shedding right about now. And it was kind of necessary for us to pull that video. And that video comes from the archives, from back when Zondo would be doing these meetings and would be there crying. Looked very, you understand. But today we are talking. Okay, you guys are with the detective. You can see the detective is not in disguise. Yesterday the detective needed to still wear his disguise so that he can, you understand, full information has been obtained. Now we can talk about what exactly is the story. But you can see in the title there is a huge case that Bishop Zondo has just lost in Botswana. And this case unfolds in so many levels. It's like an onion, you understand. That's what they call it. But in this same episode, I'm going to give an update on Bushiri's extradition because there was a recent update that was given. They had a court something happening a few days back. And so I think I'm going to give that update on this video because I think it is worth mentioning as we head towards court. This is a video about courts, and so as we are talking about courts, we might as well put Bushiri here because he was recently in court himself. Sexuality show, the daily Christian commentary videos. The detective is in gear. He's in office form now. You understand? We are now at work now. We are done with investigation. No undercover matters. So now we are out in the full-fledged. You understand? How you doing? Hope you had a wonderful morning, and may the Lord do you good this morning. Please do give this video a thumbs up. It does help it out in the algorithm. Yeah, likes pay for the office, like pay for all these things that we see here. So giving the like, it helps spread the videos out, and it gets the videos out to a point where we can continue doing this work. Now I need to give you the full details of this story, and hopefully one day we'll be able to carry this information straight from the horse's mouth and not having to hear it from me, the reporter. Now what's the story here? Pastor Sekgweng, you can see him over here. That's him with Bishop Zondo right there. Bishop Zondo was sitting down. Bishop Zondo was sitting down. You have to do the arch out of the archbishop aspect was in full effect. He was sitting down. But you see, this picture kind of exhibits one of the aspects of this case that was recently handled, because the pastor, Pastor Sekgweng, was head pastor in Botswana, meaning pastors in Botswana used to report to him. Okay, they used to report to Pastor Sekgweng. So, the funny thing is that Mandem wasn't getting paid. Pastor Sekgweng was not being paid, and so he said, "You know what? We need to take this to CCMA, the CCMA in Botswana." And they did so, and by doing so, this led the court to actually award him the winning of that case. But that's because of 3 years worth of work put in, the ups and downs. As I stated, that picture earlier on where you see him with Bishop Zondo in the rivers of murky waters over in the Val, it kind of exhibits this aspect of him doing all these travels for the ministry's cause without being compensated, and 3 years worth of salaries and being head pastor over there. So travel allowance, you can talk salaries and all this kind of stuff. It's in the hundreds. And while these travels are happening, while Pastor Sekgweng's travels are happening for Rivers of Murky Waters business, Zondo never traveled to Botswana for past couple of years, maybe 5, 6, 7 years or something like that. He used to send one of his other pastors, and I think that's Pastor Blessings Poswa, according to what information I've got, is that is the pastor that was doing travels for him. But he had not traveled to Botswana. He would send him. And now this brings up other cases, as a matter of fact, if I was to kind of bring up that particular subject, is that this brings up other cases because Bishop Zondo would do meetings in Botswana where people would pay monies. They would be charged a certain amount of money, and when that money, you understand, this will take you back to the Ama Bishop episode that actually came out not long ago. Now, you'll remember that there was a whole effort to stop that documentary from airing. Now it becomes a little bit more interesting. Why? Because those monies which will be generated from thingy, as Pastor Sekgweng mentioned over there on that particular episode, is that they would just be going out of the country, just like that. And so that can cause you problems on many different levels. And so that's also part of more problems or more troubles for the bishop. The tears are going to go far. Because on the 23rd of May, okay, this particular year, this court case was won and it was awarded to Pastor Sekgweng. Meaning the court said, yes, you are owed by the rivers of murky waters. They owe you. Out of the mud, out of the murkiness, they must pay. But then, this is the thing. They said this order is they must pay within 14 days. Was it 14 days or something like that? So from the 23rd, you can do your calculations. This is where the issues come for Zondo and why this episode is so important to this particular subject. This case was won on the 23rd of May this year, and the 17th, their time was expired. So the time when they should have paid these hundreds, these thousands that they were owing to him, they were ordered to pay. When they had not paid that time, they appealed. But they did it, I think, about the 17th or something like that. I appealed it after the time which they were given. You are given 14 days. You appeal within the 14 days. But then they decided to appeal after the 14 days. This caused them problems because the court said, you want to play those business, you want to play that game. We don't play that game here. We don't play that game. Your time is up. Sheriff Hambali. When Pastor Sekgweng left in 2020, there were other pastors that left with him. Okay, let me name them so that you know we are not just throwing names out there. Just for rivers of murky water people, sometimes they are very forgetful. So they make it sound like we are not talking real things or real stories here. Okay, Pastor Medubi also left. Okay, Pastor Olibile also left. Pastor Mohai. So he also left with the general overseer in Botswana, which is Pastor Sekgweng, right? And bear in mind, by that period, the particular pastor that I said Zondo was sending over to Botswana to do all the business, Pastor Blessing Poswa, that pastor, he has also left. He's also left the Bishop Zondo campus. Campus of Charlatanonis. Okay, yeah, he is also dipped it. He's also left the thing. So the man who was doing the ups and downs, he himself is no longer there. Now the very interesting aspect is that, first of all, the case is done with. He loses the case. They try to appeal it after. They try to do the same thing that Bushiri and his friends like doing. What they do is they dip around different aspects of the law in order just to find loopholes. Right now, the update on Bushiri's case is that the court has said that they don't necessarily need those who are going to testify to appear in person. Now, they are still trying to appeal that, and I think they've been given up until the 17th and so forth in order for that case to actually continue on how they are going to handle that part of things. And so the same way Bishop Zondo was doing here, according to this case, is that he was looking for a way not to have to pay this man. And that is not going to work out because the court said, please, Chief, your time is expired. Pay the thousands and thousands you are owing. Now, by the way, those are the pastors who have left that I announced. those pastors also might be getting back to him. They might also want to fight for their own. I don't think Bishop Zondo's church will survive in Botswana. Foreshadowing. Okay, I don't think his church will survive in Botswana, because if those pastors now are also coming out, this also tells you that this is only going to spread. And bear in mind, these are not things that you can. It's like one of those times when we were told Hubert NJ cannot come to South Africa, and people were like, why? When last did you see him here? Here. When have you seen him? You never see him. He's not coming back. Now, someone might say it's because of Bushiri and him, Bushiri not being there. But that he didn't come to South Africa for Bushiri only. There's all kinds of people that would invite him, right? But he cannot come here the same way Bishop Zondo cannot go over there. Because over there, he's Amakala. There's too many issues over there. And so this is part of the things that I wanted to tell you guys. This is one of the things that I wanted to point out here, is that there is a lot more than what people see. A lot more pastors who have left. What is it? 2-3 people, pastors who left with the general overseer who was handling their business over there in thing. It's not a church, it's a business. The head pastor, Pastor Sekgweng, who left thinking, and other pastors followed him after that. And so it's not going very well at Rivers. Rivers they have lost this court case, and very recently in July they're going to be going back to court to handle the subject about the other cases down here in South Africa. There's a lot. It's a lot, Bazalani. You know these things you cannot be dodging around. As I stated, the period which they were given has expired, so they have no other than to go and pay up for the monies that they are owing. And if those other pastors also get their way, even I see some charlatan pastors out there. Please, you remember even Bushiri, he also did the same thing. He had pastors in the name of these are my spiritual sons, he was not paying them. They went to thinking with Solomon, they went to the CRL and they were compensated. Okay? And so when it comes to this part here, this thing, Bazalan, you remember that entire subject of pastors saying, hey, they don't want to pay, what, they don't want. Do you see here? They're watching you. They're watching you. Do you think we can apply those spiritual manipulation stuff to think? No. One pastor was trying to employ me to become his video editor. I said no. But he didn't want to pay. He didn't want to pay me. But yet he expected the work. No, you must give everything on time. And I'm like, do you know how much time it takes to edit 3-4 cameras into a video format? Do you know how long it takes to do that? And I still must go out and have a live work, whatnot, and then come back, be there on each and every single service. They have 3-4 services a week, and then edit all those. When? How? What time do I have to do all of that stuff? So this stuff that you spiritual manipulation that you people have been pulling, you better ease up on that stuff. It's gonna cost you heavily. Pay your pastors. Don't play funny business. Don't play funny business. Don't come with that shenanigan of spiritual sons. They are laborers in the field. Historic reality show. We do daily Christian commentary videos. It's not fun. Don't play with people's lives. Okay, don't play with people's lives. Oh no, I know I say these things sometimes laughing, but there is a lot of people that are very backwards. A lot of people that are very much backwards, because a church told them you are serving in the church, and in the name of serving in the church, those people's lives were on hold. There are many pastors, after they get kicked out of a church, they have nowhere to go. Because the pastor had nothing. He had nothing. Everything that he was doing was for that church. The same way we spoke about the guys who left TB Joshua. It's the same thing. This stuff holds up people. They be there, going there. God has blessed me, but they forget that those that are serving under them, Nothing is happening in their life. Stagnant, stuck. This is what happens. This is what happens. They take you to court, you lose the court case, and then all of a sudden, tears. I know you are saying, but Ricky, that video is old. Yeah, we have revived it. But the anointing vested upon me. I revived this video. It's Ricky, and I'll see you later on. Yeah, have a blessed morning. Salute.